All right, guys, in this video, we're going to go over the schematic drawing tool. So how to get here, first, if you're in a project, simply go to Actions, Schematics, and you can go to your canvas. And then the first thing I'm going to do is unlock the canvas, full screen. So this is my drawing canvas where I could do my schematics. I could add additional pages for each drawing page. And then for my room, if I want to add products from the room tab, I can go to rooms and you can see here I have a list of my rooms on the right side. So for the large conference room, I could add in a device. It says here a 10 Samsung QM65C displays. So I can zoom in and you can see here it has my device block with all my ports. Now what I want to do is I want to show you first off how to create these device blocks if you don't already have the products in your database. So the first thing I'm going to do here is add a device, and then what we can do is come up with a device that, let's just do this. We'll do a search for an existing device that does not have any metadata. So let's take a look here at the buying app, Primo Touch 10, and I'll go ahead and I'll add that. So that's going to show up in my drawing as a device block with no ports. Now, if I want to go the easy route, I can just do right click, autofill with AI, and then it'll present me with this window. So this asks me if I wanted to run it as a kit or a bundle. And the touch panel just comes by itself, so we're not going to select that. But if we were selecting something like a conference kit that comes with a computer, a touch panel, and a transmit receive kit, then we'd want to do it as a kit. So we'll go ahead, we'll hit generate metadata. And what this is going to do, it's going to search the manufacturer documentation online to get the information about the ports, and it's going to populate the ports. So there you go. We have the ports populated for the Primo Touch 10. We've got an RJ45, and it looks like a USB micro port. And what I want to do here is I can link this to the product. You can see here we have our Touch 8. So let's look up the Touch 10. There it is. There's the Touch 10. And it looks like the Touch 10 already has the metadata saved. So if I were to delete this and then add this back by just typing in Touch 10, you can see here it's already saved the metadata to the product for me. So now it's going forward, I have that built out. Now, how I really like to do my drawings is I like to design with bundles. So if you go into bundles, you'll have some pre-saved bundles like templates. So let's select this Crestron Flex Teams with BIAMP standard kit. You can see it has 12 devices. So I'll go select that. And it's going to ask me to place it on the canvas. So I'll just select right there. And as you can see, we just basically just deployed all these devices in one click, right? So if I'm doing a drawing and there's a kit, let's say it's a Crestron kit or any other manufacturer, and I want to wire it specifically for how that kit should be wired, I can go ahead, I can do that. I can select everything that I want to save as a bundle, go to right click, and then save as bundle. And then I could just give it a name or I can overwrite to update the existing bundle. So this is like the quickest way to do your drawings is by using the AI feature to generate the ports, and then you save them as bundles after you do all the wiring, after you label everything and set everything up how you like it. So this makes it really quick to deploy reusable drawings. Now, if I need to go in and I need to modify the port data, okay, we can just right click, we can do edit ports, and then we can reorder the ports just by dragging and dropping between the input, the outputs, or the order. We could add additional ports to the left side or right side. So a list here of ports that you can select from. We also have a manage custom port types option. So this gives you the ability to add your own custom ports as well. As far as drawing, it's fairly simple. You would just select your input to your output, and then you have your connection. If you want to highlight, you can just right click, show signal path. Um, as far as the animation goes, you can turn this down to a slow crawl, or you can turn it off and it goes to a solid line. I like to have it on like 5%. Let's say, for example, I have a matrix mixer. Let's take a look here for a matrix. Say I don't have any matrices. Let's check if I have a Ross matrix. I do. Okay, so we have a Ross Ultrix matrix, 32 ports. Let's add that. We'll use this as our example. So we have our input SDI inputs, our SDI outputs. and we want to show routing for this device. So let's go ahead, let's just grab a random device here. I'm going to just grab this one here. I'm going to borrow this touch panel, and then I'm also going to borrow this display. So don't worry about the actual flow here. What I want to do is show you how we can wire up the path. So I'm going to make an input, and then I'm going to make an output. So the ROS has input on SDI1 and output on SDI3. Let's say I have multiple inputs and outputs and I want to show the route. I can right click, I can go to edit signal routes, and then here I can say, let's see, in 1 to out 3. I can show signal routes, and there it is. So now you have your routes going from your input to your output. So this is very handy if you want to be able to see your routes at a glance and kind of remember where it is. And it's also helpful for programming, so that way the programmer can log into the schematic and take a look at the routes if you have them preset here as well. Okay, so that's routing. We also have the ability to number your cables. So you can right click, you can assign a cable type, such as a network cable, and then it will automatically increment for the cable count. Additionally, we have our tags. So I can show a tag saying, let's see, we can change this to a flag that I like to use for going to, let's say, another page. And I could say this is going to the audio input, page 2. You can add, you can add, you can show like a power plug, you can show a LAN port, you can change the tag shape. Then when you're done and you're happy with your drawings, you can export it. You can go to title block to configure your title block. It has many settings here for your title block as well as revisions and general notes. So take a look at that. You have your export to PDF. So if we download this and have a look at it, you'll see here we've got our title block on the right with the company logo. And if you were to assign this to a customer and add the customer's logo, the customer's logo would show up in the top right hand corner, and we have our drawings here. So that's really about it, how to do drawings in AVstackr's schematic drawing tool.